All right, I had a few people asking about the new camper setup. I got this as a new mobile base camp for Just Instinct Creative. I find myself quite often wishing that I had a small camper to use on client photo trips, and client work as we're out in the field. So this is kind of the solution to that. Teardrops Northwest built some pretty awesome campers. They're super well thought out and they pack a lot into a pretty small footprint. So it's designed to go pretty much anywhere. So this is kind of what we've got going on here. I've got a front tongue box, just has extra storage, and it has your lithium batteries and your solar panel controller that makes sure you're not overcharging your batteries. You got a solar panel up front and you have a solar panel in the back. Cool thing about these solar panels is they actually pop off quick. So you just turn these, the whole panel pops off, and you have a 20-foot cable for each of them. So if you're parked in the shade, under a tree, whatever, you can pop those off and put them out in the sun where they're actually working. You've got roto packs on either side for carrying extra fuel, because the Jeep does kind of suck fuel pulling this thing around. Then you've got your cabin. You've got some extra storage up there. You got lights, and you have several plugins for phone, charging phones, whatever. You've got light here and an outdoor light here, switch for that. On either side, you've got a Dometic fan that is actually rain sensing. So if you have it turned on at night and it starts to rain, it will actually automatically shut off. Those fans are pretty sweet, and they pump a ton of air in or out of this vehicle, which is super helpful. You've got a bunch of storage back here for clothes and whatnot. You've got a Propex heater here. Turn that on, and within about a minute, you'll have heat coming out of those vents. So that's pretty sweet. You've got a couple other plug-ins and charging outlets there. You also have rock lights. I don't have them turned on, of course, right now, but you have rock lights underneath on either side of the camper. I've got this Pelican mounted on the outside. This is just going to be for extra storage for camp chairs and stuff like that, or tools that gets dirty that you don't want to be putting in the camper or in your vehicle. So that's just some extra storage. You got your propane, which is hard lined in to the Propex heater. It also has two additional outlets there. One of those outlets will be used for your cooktop. The other outlet is additional, so that you can use it for a heater, a light, whatever you want to use it for. So you've got an extra propane outlet, quick connect there. You've got on both sides on the back, you have jacks. So if you need to level out the trailer, or in a worst case scenario, if you had a tire go flat, you can actually use those to jack up the camper and change out the wheel and tire. So that's pretty cool. On the back here, you've got your kitchen, your workstation. You've got some more power outlets and lights. You have your readout for your batteries here that tells you, what your battery level's out, how many amps you're using, how much power you're getting in from the solar panels, all that good stuff. Additionally, you have your cooktop here that pops out and locks in, and you have an additional workspace here with a cutting board on top, which is pretty sweet. Down below, you have another drawer that you can keep skillets and things like that. Then you have your three center shelves here for storage. Those all slide out. You've got more storage up here. It's amazing how much you can get in to this vehicle. Actually, when I rented one of these back in June, we had this thing packed full, and we had stuff for weeks. It was crazy, and we could have still gotten more in here. It's pretty impressive. We have here is your Dometic cooler. These take almost no power. It's pretty wild. Gives you a lot of storage. Also has a small freezer in there that you can turn off or on. If you have it on and you're running it, it obviously will take more power, but you can get some ice cubes that way, which is kind of cool. So this just slides back in, locks in. Then you also have two Dometic 5-gallon jugs here. Cool thing about these is they actually work with this Dometic faucet. So you simply take a water line, plug it in here, and plug it in here, and this is electric. You charge it, you just hit that, and it will dispense water for you into your basin here, and you can use this for washing hands, dishes, all that stuff. And this all folds up and just goes away. You can put it inside here or inside the camper when you're rolling down the road. So that's pretty much everything on the back. You have a spare tire on the passenger side. Then the only other thing that's kind of notable is you have a 13-gallon tank here at the front. So just extra water, whether you want to use that for an outdoor shower or just to carry extra water, you can do that there. And then you also have a pretty sweet hitch that is made to rotate and work really well off-road. So that's what this trailer is really made for, is going off-road, going where other trailers cannot. The suspension is set up for that, so should pretty much be able to go anywhere that the Jeep goes. I will be getting a 180-degree awning that will go here on the rack, and will pretty much go from the back of the Jeep all the way to the back of the camper, so that'll add a whole bunch more space out underneath the side here. But that pretty much is the trailer. I'm super stoked to get this up in the mountains and get to be able to use it on some client trips. And yeah, it's gonna be rad. Teardrops Northwest really crushed it, so looking forward to getting it out and putting it to use.